What's up, gun enthusiasts? BE Reviews. Well, after a long and awaited 2-week period, last night I got the call and was able to go pick up this bad boy. This is my Shield 9 Plus Performance Center model. Obviously, really looking forward to getting this in, to handling it, to shooting it. Haven't been able to do so yet, as I just picked it up last night. But just like the Shield Plus, it feels awesome in the hand. There are a few things on this gun that are obviously upgraded and updated and more of a premium model than the normal Shield 9 Plus, and I'll kind of just walk you through those. I have it open here so that I can show you. Obviously, it's unloaded. But what's unique about this, obviously, right off the bat, you notice the sights. These are the fiber optic sights, red and green. See that? Pretty easy to pick up there. These will be replaced, even though they're updated and upgraded sights from what comes on the normal Shield Plus. I will obviously upgrade to night sights, and the reason being is, as good as you can sort of see these during the day, they don't show up for shit at night, so they will obviously have to be replaced. Another drastic feature you will see from the original model is the ported slide here, and the ported barrel has two ports there. It has 3 ports on each side of the slide. This model does have the thumb safety on it. Typically not something that I would, buy or personally to me recommend, but it's, it is what it is. It's the only model of this that I could get my hands on. I have not seen a performance center model without the thumb safety yet. Maybe somebody has one. I think this is sort of just one of those things where, gun shops are just getting them in randomly. The guy at Cabela's told me that they don't know what they're getting, when they're getting it, how many of whatever they're getting, what model they're getting. They just sort of send them out with kind of how people are buying up guns right now. That's just sort of the landscape. So, I had to get my hands on one, obviously. So it came with the thumb safety. This is obviously not something that I will use, but it's there in case you need it. The thumb safety on this one does work a lot easier than it does on the normal Shield Plus. My guess for that may be just the fact that this gun is supposed to have some more fine tuning with the externals and internals, the trigger, things of that nature. So maybe that is also part of that package. I don't know, but for whatever reason, it does work a lot easier than it does on the Shield Plus. My wife was obviously, looking at this last night and was like, man, that thing is a lot easier to use than it is on mine. Those things like that will obviously, break in over time. The more you use it, the more, you fire the pistol, the more things will sort of break in and be easier. Things that I've also heard about, not just this model, but the Shield 9 Plus in general, is that it is hard to load 13 rounds and then keep one in the chamber. It's hard to seat the magazine, and that people are having issues with it jamming and stuff like that. That is obviously due to a stiff recoil spring. So what I've always been taught is if you have a gun that has a stiff recoil spring, is to just kind of do this with it, leave it open, sort of try and break in that recoil spring when you're not carrying it, and that should, help loosen it up. Same thing with the magazine. If you put rounds in the magazine and leave them in there as opposed to, loading and unloading, and those are things that can sort of help loosen up the springs and help things sort of, flow and operate a little bit easier for you. So that is obviously what I will do with this, but just be aware that I have heard that. I do remember when I originally got the Shield, I was kind of having the same sort of problems with the 8-round magazine, and then just the more I used it, the more I fired it and things of that nature, it started to loosen up. And that's what I've also heard from people that have these, 200, 300, 400 rounds through it, they really start to loosen up. So I don't think that's an operating, I don't really think that's not saying the operator. I don't really think that's on, the fact that the pistol is not reliable and whatnot. I just think it's got, It's got stiff springs in the magazines and also the recoil springs. So let's see what else. This obviously has the same grip texture as the Shield 9 Plus. Here is the 10-round magazine. It's going to look exactly like the Shield. Like I said, the only thing that's different about this gun is the fact that the grip is a little bit wider than the regular Shield or the Shield 2.0, obviously to accommodate the 13-round magazine. I would equate this to, if you're a Glock person, the grip on this more of like a Glock 43X as opposed to a 43 with what I would equate the original Shield to, just a little bit thinner. To me personally, because I have big hands, I do like this grip better. Even though I have big hands, I'm not a huge fan of double stack magazines. I obviously own double stack guns, shoot them, like them, but personally, just to me, the feel of like a double stack and a half is like perfect for me. I don't really like single stack magazines, as I just feel they're a little bit too thin for my hand, and I feel like my hand sort of engulfs them. 13-round magazine right there. You can get a full purchase on this with XL to almost double XL hands. That's the one thing that I like about this gun more than the Hellcat. The Hellcat to me has, as far as like the grip and the feel of the grip in the hand, to me it feels the best of any gun that I own, but it's probably 1/8 of an inch shorter than this is, and because of that, this one just fits my hands a little bit better. So I do like that about it. I'll also show you what came in the box. If you order the Performance Center model, you get this Smith & Wesson pretty cool little cleaning kit there. It says Performance Center, and then you open it up, and it's got all the different brushes and whatnot in there. So you can take a look at that. It sort of comes with it, which is kind of a cool little touch there. I did pay $6.29 for this, and my wife paid $5.50 for hers, so it was, obviously $80 more. When you include, tax and shipping and whatnot, I ended up paying about $100 more than her. Mine was about, what was it, $6.90, I think, with shipping and background check and everything for this, and I think she paid $5.90 for hers. So obviously just be aware of that. If you can't find this in stock locally, and you have to order it, you're going to probably be around $100, $80 to $100 more than the original model. Again, really like how easy these guns press check. Very easy, much easier than the Glock or the Hellcat models. It does have the flat, blade safety trigger, as I showed you in the other video. I don't obviously have a measurement with me, but I would say that this trigger is a little bit lighter. I'd say a pound and a half, probably more than my wife's Shield. Kind of got that spongy take up, hit the wall, and then a break. To me, this feels like it's probably about 3.5, 4 pounds, and I think my wife's is probably about 5.5 pounds. So obviously, the work that they do on these at the Performance Center obviously is going to make this trigger a little bit smoother, a little bit easier. So, I look forward to getting out and shooting this versus my wife's model to see how much the ported barrel, the ported slide help with recoil, the management of that, keeping the gun on target and follow-up shots. Also checking out the trigger, comparing the triggers on the gun. Those are really the two really drastic differences. I will upgrade the sights to night sights. Just kind of trying to figure out right now which ones I really want to go with. There's a lot of options on the market right now. One thing also that I have seen that I wanted to kind of make you aware of is that the you can see right there, the mag release on this gun is a little bit more, has a little bit more of a, excuse me, a protrusion than it does on the original Shield or the 2.0. And even though these guns and holster manufacturers are saying that these guns will fit in the normal Shield holsters, there are some people that are having issues with that because of the if your holster obviously covers this up, they're, you know, putting it against their body and it's accidentally hitting this and it's making the magazine come out. So just be aware of that if you're looking for holsters, to sort of pay attention for that, because that obviously could be an issue. I know some people are saying they're not having issues with it. Some people saying they are. Another issue that I sort of wanted to bring to your attention is, you can see, well, I don't know if you can actually see it in there, but the Seer that's in here, some people on the Performance Center models are having issues where that's not going down or dropping down in the proper channel. So it's disengaging the trigger and they're having issues with the gun. Again, this is something that I'm hearing some people are having issues with, some people saying it's not an issue. So I will obviously let you know what my experience is when I get this out to the range. But that's just another thing that I've sort of been seeing about this model specifically that could possibly be an issue. I know somebody that had to actually send it back to Smith & Wesson. I know somebody that sort of messed with it and said it's fine now. So I don't really know, as I haven't really fired it yet. But yeah, so far overall impressions of how it feels, how it looks, awesome. And if I can get this to the range and it performs the way that I think it should and that it will, then this will obviously, you know, I won't, when I say replace my Hellcat, I don't mean that I won't ever use the Hellcat, or I'll sell it, or I'll, you know, it'll sit in a safe. But this one will probably go more towards the primary carry for me, just because obviously with that round capacity, and it's such a small package, and the fact that it's American made, for me, just, you know, things like that matter. I'll show you sort of how the magazines drop out. That, you know, it drops out really easily there. So you're not going to have any issues with mag sticking or anything like that. So again, that's something that's huge with a carry gun, something you're going to carry, you know, to defend your life with. So first, here are the first, you know, kind of initial impressions and look at the Performance Center model of the Shield 9 Plus from Smith & Wesson. I obviously would recommend this pistol, even though I haven't fired this one specifically. This is a proven model. This, you know, was the one that really set the standard for, you know, sort of slimline, single stack 9mm that you could conceal carry. So, you know, I don't expect any issues with this. I've been told that, you know, just the externals and the way that everything's set up inside the pistol is the same as the other Shield models. They just obviously made the grip wider, gave you a little more rounds, things like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope I answered your questions. Anything, you know, that you may want to know or had questions about. If there's something I didn't go over, or you'd like to, you know, hear me go a little bit more in depth on, you know, please leave that in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to, you know, obviously answer those questions. Again, if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. If you don't, that's fine as well. Thumbs up if you want, thumbs down, that's fine. And obviously, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section below. And until next time, I'm out of here.